What up, everybody? What up, everybody? What up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of AC Reviews the World. I am your host, AC the Engineer, and we are at episode 67. Yep, we're at episode 67 now, moving our way on up. This is going to be the last live stream for a little second. I'm going out of town, but I have pre-recorded videos scheduled for while I am away. So, we gotta keep everybody up to date. Hope everybody's having a beautiful Friday, November. It's a little before 10, a little later than usual. Now I've talked about this before. Well, I'm going to talk about it now. I'm thinking about starting in December, or the end of November. I'm gonna start streaming Monday through Friday, probably 6 to 7. I'm gonna go over 4 topics so we can get stuff up to date every single day, what we're going through. But that is what I'm thinking. So be sure to look out for that. But I will make a post about that when it's actually going to start. Now we got a lot of things to cover today, like always. We're gonna go over. We got some more information on the team that died on the Carnival cruise. We got 17,000 CDLs are going to get revoked in California. 21 gang members arrested. There's a lot of crazy things, and even a 79-year-old killing a naked intruder. Well, no, I might go over that. We'll see how much time we got, but let's go over into it and see what we can learn from these situations. All right, but you know how I like to do it. Let's jump right into it. The first thing we're gonna get over into today is we got some more information on the teen that died on the Carnival cruise. The family finally speaks out. So we're going to go over into that video and see what we can learn from the situation. So let's jump over into it and see what we can learn. See what we got.
Tonight on the Space Coast, a Caribbean cruise turned nightmare. This 18-year-old from Titusville died while on board the Carnival Horizon, and now the FBI is getting on board. Fox 35's Esther Bauer is live in Brevard County with the latest on this investigation. And Esther, her high school is now honoring her.
Luann, they are Temple Christian School posted about Anna Kepner, and now you can see behind me there is a massive memorial still growing on her vehicle. All throughout the day, we saw several students, teachers, parents come out and just cover that car with flowers and balloons. As people grieve this great loss, the FBI is trying to figure out how this happened. The FBI came on board as passengers left the ship on Saturday morning in Miami. A body was brought out on a stretcher before it was taken out of the port.
It's hard to believe that you were right there where something like that happened. We were just a few hundred feet from that room.
Lindsay Allison was on board the Horizon, staying a few rooms away from where this all happened. She remembers a medical call coming in on Friday around 11 a.m. After that,
security never left. They guarded the room very well.
Temple Christian School in Titusville says Anna Kepner attended their school, and she reportedly is the victim who died on the ship. The school posted photos and a message on Monday to families on Facebook saying, "You were a bright, kind-hearted young woman whose presence brought warmth and energy into the classroom. Your absence will be felt every day, but your impact and the memories you created will continue to live on in our hearts." A memorial on Anna's car, still parked at the school, grew by the hour.
She was so sweet, very kind, always there for everybody. Just a terrible thing.
No one knows what happened to the teen and how she died. The FBI is leading the investigation, and Carnival says since this is an ongoing matter under the jurisdiction of law enforcement, it is up to the FBI's Miami Public Affairs Office to provide further details. Our focus is on supporting the family of our guest. Guests on the ship are devastated. A vacation turned into a death sentence.
You're out in the middle of the ocean. You can't go anywhere. You can't get on land. You can't flee.
And I pray that they find justice.
And prayers are pouring in for the family.
I have a 14-year-old, so I really hate it for them. So my prayers are with the Kepner family. I'm really, really, really sorry. And we will be thinking about you all for a very long time.
And I did speak with passengers that are currently on board the Horizon ship right now. They say the ship left later than expected on Saturday because of everything that law enforcement was doing to process the scene. The school here also says they have counselors ready to help students that are trying to process this tragedy. Reporting.
That's got to be that's tragic. Absolutely tragic. Vacation, trying to have a good time on vacation, and a girl ends up dying on the cruise. Now, we haven't gotten any information about how she died, if she was drowned, if something crazy happened. We don't know what happened. But let's get over into this next video where we hear from the parents. The parents actually broke their silence. So let's get over into it.
The family of the bubbly 18-year-old high school senior who died under mysterious circumstances on a cruise ship in the Caribbean is breaking their silence. Anna Kepner's grieving father, Christopher, says he is desperate for answers. The FBI hasn't shared anything with me yet, he was quoted as saying. I know as little as everybody else. I have no idea what is going on right now. We are just trying to sit still and wait for answers. Anna died on the Carnival ship Horizon at 11:17 a.m., according to the Miami-Dade medical examiner. The fact that the precise time of death is listed, 11:17 a.m., is only adding to the mystery. Was it odd to you to read the specific time, or is that common?
That's what makes me think maybe there was something external that happened acutely, like very rapidly. It seems like more of an abrupt event that likely led to her death.
I mean, it could have been they got cameras and everything, because I've been on a cruise before. I think they got cameras pretty much all over, so they can keep track of what's happening. So it might have been caught on camera. So, but let's keep going.
Anna loved going on cruise vacations with her family. Last May, she posted these videos, dancing in her cabin as her grandparents watched. Anna's parents also released this obituary, in which they called her our Anna Banana, our sunshine, our baby girl. She filled the world with laughter, love, and light. Instead of flowers for the funeral, friends were encouraged to leave flowers on Anna's car, which is parked at her high school outside Orlando, where she last left it.
Anna was due to graduate high school in May. Her family says she had dreams of joining the military. Carnival says they are cooperating with the FBI and are focused on supporting the family.
Absolutely crazy situation, y'all. It's an absolutely crazy situation. Tragic situation. But as of right now, the cause of death and autopsy, so based on just most recently looking up, the cause of death, an autopsy has been conducted, but the official cause and manner of the death are pending the final results, which could take weeks. They love to say that. It could take weeks. Let's see. So she was on a 6-day cruise to the Caribbean on the Carnival Horizon, which departed Miami on November 2nd, 2025. Wow, just a few days ago. Anna Kepner, she was 18, Florida, straight A student, varsity cheerleader, and had plans to join the U.S. Navy after graduation. FBI is leading the investigation. The father has spoken about the heartache and frustration of not knowing of what happened to his daughter, saying that FBI has not provided any updates. The family requests privacy and to end to any social media speculations. And the Carnival, only thing Carnival, of course, is going to say they're supporting the family and our guests. Absolutely crazy, y'all. I wonder what happened. Hopefully we get some information about it. I wonder if she was drowned or if something crazy happened. But they know the exact time of death, 11:17 a.m. Could have been on camera. An incident happened to where they wrote down the time, but doesn't sound like she was just in her room and something happened when nobody was around. They can know, but they know the exact time of death. It's a tragic situation. Just be careful. Look after your family, even when you're on vacation. Just look after the people around you. It's a crazy world we live in, so we got to review the world together, y'all. We have to review the world together. We will keep up with this case to see exactly if we can find out what the cause of death is. It's always tragic when a teen dies. It's always tragic when anybody dies, especially unexpectedly. We got to pray for the family who's grieving. Like if anybody's grieving, I've said this before. If you can't deal with the grief by yourself, then talk to somebody. That is the main thing. Go talk to somebody. Some people can handle the grief on their own. Some people can't. That's perfectly fine. That is perfectly fine. Absolutely crazy situation. We will keep up with this. But we're going to pivot. We're going to pivot over into California. We got to go to California. We got to pivot. We're going to go over into California. So as you've seen, I don't know if you've seen it, but California is preparing to revoke 17,000 CDLs. And I'm thinking illegal migrants. But we'll get into the videos. We got a few videos to look at. So let's jump over into it and see what we can learn from this situation. How do you feel about it, y'all? How do you feel about it? First of all, main thing, you need to speak English. That's my main thing. A lot of these people can't speak English, and I don't understand that. I don't understand how someone can drive a commercial vehicle and not speak English. But let's get over into it and see what we can find out.
Now, new this morning, Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy announcing California's Department of Motor Vehicles has admitted to illegally issuing upwards of 17,000 trucker licenses to what DOT officials call dangerous foreign drivers. Duffy wrote this: after weeks of claiming they did nothing wrong, Gavin Newsom and California have been caught red-handed. Now that we've exposed their lies, 17,000 illegally issued trucking licenses are now being revoked. They'll be null and void after 60 days. The Transportation Department is threatening to pull $160 million in federal money from California if all the CDLs are not revoked. Joining me now is DHS Public Assistant
let's back that up a tad bit.
The Transportation Department is threatening to pull $160 million in federal money from California if all the CDLs are not revoked. Joining me now is DHS Public Assistant Secretary Tricia McLaughlin. Tricia, good to see you. Thanks so much for being here. Give us the reason this is so troubling, these licenses.
Maria, this is a huge public safety issue in this country, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. What's happening here is California and other sanctuary states are issuing these big rig driver's license, these commercial driver's license for 18-wheelers to those who are in our country illegally. Oftentimes they can't understand law enforcement, they can't speak the English language, they can't properly follow road signs. We just saw in the last few weeks multiple Americans being killed by drivers who are driving recklessly using CDLs. This is a huge problem. Secretary Duffy has been a wonderful partner in this, incredibly proactive. And Secretary Noem has also been directing state and local law enforcement partners, including our ICE and CBP officials, to be going out to weigh stations, to truck stops, and making operations to make sure that this is a priority so the American families are safe who are driving on our roads.
Why would they issue the licenses in the first place, Tricia?
Well, in the state of California, it is actually illegal for the California Driver Association to ask these individuals if they're in the country illegally. So it's incredibly reckless policy. It's not just dumb, it's obviously deadly. And we've seen that time and time again. And innocent Americans are really getting wrapped up in this.
Well, they're trying to fight President Trump at every turn. I mean, a federal judge is considering releasing.
So they can't ask if they're illegal, but can illegal immigrants get driver's licenses? I'm assuming because when you go get your normal license from the DMV, I think you got to have your birth certificate. Like you want some residence, mail, stuff like that. So they didn't have to show any of that. Then not speaking English is a totally different thing. Like you need to be able to read the road signs. But let's keep going.
Hundreds of illegal migrants arrested by federal agents in Chicago. The National Immigration Justice Center is arguing that these illegals were arrested in violation of a consent decree in state law. Meanwhile, a local Chicago gang reportedly putting their own target on federal immigration officials. Tricia, what's being done about all of this in Chicago?
Well, we will fight this at every turn. The fact of the matter is they are putting the Chicago public, the American public, at risk with these insane, asinine overturning and trying to turn back these migrants back onto our streets, many of which are dangerous criminals. But the fact of the matter is we've arrested in Operation Midway Blitz over 3,000 illegal aliens, many are whom are child pedophiles, MS-13 gang members, known or suspected terrorists, murders, truly the worst of the worst, Maria. And so this federal judge is trying to overturn that good work, undermine the will of the American people, and put the American people at risk. We will fight that at every turn. But the president just yesterday, he truth socialed some of the remarkable statistics that Secretary Noem and our law enforcement officers have been able to achieve out of Chicago in just the short time we've been on the ground there. Carjackings are down 48%. Homicides are down 16%. In Chicago, robberies are down 35%. These are remarkable statistics, and that's not because of J.B. Pritzker, and it's not because of Mayor Brandon Johnson. It's actually the opposite. They've been obstructing our law enforcement, they've been undermining them, and they've been vilifying them. Regardless, our law enforcement wakes up each and every single day to make the American people safer and enforce the rule of law.
So let's pivot over into the next video and get more into the CDL stuff. So let's get into that.
Well, today, the driver's licenses for thousands of commercial drivers across the state were revoked. And that includes operators of semi-trucks, school buses, and even some construction workers. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy says that this is because they were illegally issued to, quote, dangerous foreign drivers. But the Trump administration and Governor Gavin Newsom's office have different stories about why this happened. NBC4's Alex Rozier joins us live from the Commerce truck stop with those details. Alex.
Yeah, today the Department of Transportation put out a statement saying that those 17,000 CDLs were revoked in the state of California because they were illegally issued. But the governor's office quickly responded, saying the Department of Transportation just isn't sharing the truth. Today, truck drivers got back on the road after filling up at the Commerce truck stop. On the same day, U.S. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy said the California DMV revoked 17,000 commercial driver's licenses in the state because Duffy said the CDLs were illegally issued to, quote, dangerous foreign drivers. This morning, the California DMV asked the governor's office to respond, and Governor Newsom's spokesperson said, quote, once again, the Sean Road Rules Duffy fails to share the truth, spreading easily disproven falsehoods in a sad and desperate attempt to please his dear leader. The governor's office says the impacted drivers are not illegal immigrants and that the licenses were withdrawn due to, quote, inconsistency with California law. The DMV didn't respond when asked for further clarification on what that means. But the news comes 1 month after a semi-truck driver who was in the United States illegally was accused of causing a crash that killed 3 people in Ontario. And it follows the California DMV's announcement in September that the DMV cannot issue or renew CDLs to people who are here legally in the United States but are not permanent residents or citizens.
We have definitely seen the impact on our students.
Rosie Trujillo is the office manager at the Los Angeles Trucking College.
We've had students here, and he had already his license, was working, family man, so he just had to go to the DMV and renew his license. He had a DACA, he went, and when he tried to renew it, he couldn't anymore. They said that they don't accept it unless he has residency or citizenship.
And Rosie says most of their students weren't born in the United States.
Not a lot of people that have the citizenship or residency want to do this. It's people that come from other countries with DACA, with work permits. They're the ones that really want that change in their lives, and they were the ones coming to get their CDL license. We're just afraid that it's going to impact and affect our business, and we don't want it to. We want to be here for a long time.
So the bottom line is the Trump administration and Governor Newsom's team tell different stories about why this happened. But either way, 17,000 drivers with CDLs in the state of California are no longer able to legally drive with that CDL here in the state. Reporting live in Commerce, I'm Alex Rozier.
17,000. All I can say is, we knew this was happening. We knew this was happening. If you didn't make plans before, make your plans now, I guess. So I never understood it. My main thing is I think you should at least be able to speak the English, because I've seen two when the two deadly crashes that just happened a few months ago, or like a month ago, both of them needed translators. Couldn't even speak English. And I just think if I go to another country, I would at least want to, if I'm doing some work, especially driving, I would want to speak the language in that country. That's just me. I mean, some people might be fine with not being able to speak the language, but I would want to speak the language, especially if I'm going to constantly be there, constantly working. But absolutely crazy, y'all. Let me know your thoughts on that situation. How do you feel about it? How do you feel about them being able to get CDLs in the first place? It's a crazy world, y'all. It's a crazy world, but we got to review the world together. We have to review the world together. Now that's it for that video. But we're gonna pivot. We're gonna pivot over into some crazy people in this world. We got a teen serial rapist gets 35 years in prison. We got a few videos to look at, so let's get over into it and see what we can learn from this situation. 35 years. Life is over with. But should he have gotten life? That's the question. Should he have gotten life? Serial rapist, should he have gotten life in jail? Let's jump over into it and see what we can learn and see if we agree with why he got 35 years.
A serial rapist who is only 17 years old will spend the next 35 years in prison. A judge handed down that sentence for Tremonte Kirk during an emotional hearing late this afternoon. Hannah Hilliard is live near 23rd in Wisconsin tonight. Hannah, that's where this case all started.
Oh, right, Derek, in this very busy area in Milwaukee, Tremonte Kirk followed a random woman, Charlotte Nozar, into her apartment's elevator. That is where he assaulted her, raped her, and then stomped on a surgical incision on her leg. Today, she spoke out emotionally in court, refusing to call herself a victim, instead a survivor of this violent crime.
Your Honor, the serial rapist you have sitting in front of you today is an existential threat to the women of Milwaukee. Nothing can give me my life as I knew it and my leg back.
Nozar, outspoken in the past in an effort to try and keep Tremonte Kirk off the streets. And that's because the 17-year-old came to the defense table today with a history of similar conduct dating back to when he was just 12 years old. And today's sentencing actually revealed another woman.
This man was assaulting women at 12? Nah, he got to stay behind bars. 35 years is too little. Send him to jail for life. 12 years old and he was assaulting women. I've said it before, this is learned behavior. I want to see what his parents were like. This is learned behavior. Let's keep going.
Who was sleeping in her car when Kirk tried to assault her last year. She was able to get away, but the judge not holding back today as he sentenced Kirk to 35 years behind bars, making Kirk 50 before he's released out back into the public.
This is as aggravated and depraved and sadistic and evil as it gets. You engaged in monstrous conduct that would lead the average person to believe and think that you are an absolute monster, that your parents raised a monster.
And Hannah, Kirk offered an apology today?
He did. He called his own actions, Derek, quote, selfish and evil. But Nozar, during her prepared remarks in court today, says she will not be accepting Kirk's apology nor forgive him.
Hannah Hilliard live tonight in Milwaukee.
Good. Don't forgive him. Absolutely crazy. So just a quick, we got another video to get into. So he's got 35 years in prison, and then he's got plus 20 years of extended supervision. They didn't mention anything about him being on the sexual offenders registry. Hopefully we'll hear that in the next video. He needs to be a sex offender for life. There's no getting off of that. 12 years old, he started messing with women. But let's get over into this next video and see what else we can learn.
A teenager that prosecutors described as a serial rapist is sentenced to 35 years in prison. A judge handed down that sentence to Tremaine Kirk within the hour. We do want to warn you the details of this story may be hard for some to hear. Our Megan Lee was in the courtroom for that sentencing hearing and joins us live right now with the latest. Megan?
Yeah, 17-year-old Tremaine Kirk was sentenced to 35 years behind bars and 20 years of extended supervision. This all stems from a sexual assault back in December of 2024. The court found him guilty on 2 counts of second-degree sexual assault and 1 count of aggravated battery. The judge saying he's monstrous and evil, and his victim saying he's a threat to the community. In the sentencing that took over 2.5 hours, we heard disturbing details of the sexual assault. The victim saying he's a serial rapist and a threat to the women of Milwaukee. The state doubling down by saying no female is safe if Kirk is in the community. According to investigators, Kirk raped a 54-year-old woman inside of an elevator near 24th in Wisconsin last December. Charging documents reveal he raped that woman twice, choked her, kicked and stomped on her in an elevator. And this all happened while Kirk was wearing an ankle monitor with the juvenile justice system for sexually assaulting other women, including an elderly woman. Kirk addressed his actions before being sentenced.
This man was on a monitor while he raped a 54-year-old, 17. There are some demons in this world, y'all. There are some demons in this world. Wow. Let's keep going.
During the last few months, I have spent time trying to imagine how my crimes impacted your lives, and I can barely comprehend it.
Again, Kirk was sentenced to 35 years behind bars and 20 years of extended supervision. His victims, said he is a threat to this community if he were to be let out or have a lesser sentence. They tell me they're going to turn this pain into something meaningful once one of them heals medically. She hopes to turn this pain into passion. Live outside of the safety building, Megan Lee, TMJ4 News.
There are some demons in this world, y'all. Straight demons. 12 years old, he was already out being crazy. I would like to know what his parents are like. He's 17 years old. At 12, this guy, I've said this before, is learned behavior. You learn this from seeing people around you. At least that's my thinking. I don't think kids just come out bad. I don't, unless you got like a medical, like sociopath, something like that. But most of the time, you just learned. Now, if you disagree with me, tell me what you're thinking. But that is 12 years old. Absolutely crazy. Hold on, let's see what Jesse said. Let's see. Someone failed raising that kid. Then the court failed the public by having him out on the loose on an ankle monitor. What the heck? There are some demons in this world. We know this. We've seen plenty of videos, talk about plenty of things. Well, if someone truly wants to commit a crime, what's an ankle monitor going to do? He caught a 54-year-old in the elevator, did some crazy things to her, and then stomped on her. Been doing that since he was 12. And then he got 35 years. Is 35 years enough, y'all? It's 35 years. I'm thinking he needs to be in jail for life. But the laws won't let that happen, most likely. Because he didn't end her. It's a crazy world we live in, y'all. We got to review the world together. We have to review the world together. Let me know your thoughts and let me know if you disagree with anything I said. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Let's but we're gonna pivot. We're gonna pivot over into, so we got a Dart train shooting suspect has been charged. So we gotta get over into that and see what we can find out. We're gonna see what happened and see him being charged. So we got 2 videos to look at. So let's get over into it and see what we can find out from this situation. Is this another demon? Let's get into it.
That familiar sound. brings a steady routine for Terrence Jacobs, who's been riding darts.
Shoot, my whole life, basically.
But Friday's ride was anything but routine.
Because we was on the train coming from DFW, and then by the time we were finna get downtown, they stopped the train and we had to get out.
Because Dallas police responded to a shooting at the downtown Dallas Acreage station. They say it happened around 11 a.m. on board a train. One person was taken to the hospital and the suspect took off.
And I just saw police cars and stuff over here and like some caution tape. It's another thing happening, you know.
In September, 53-year-old Daniel Gormley was shot and killed while riding home on a DART train after celebrating his birthday. And in October, another man was killed on a DART train near Pearl Station and a woman attacked after leaving the Spring Valley Station in Richardson.
The Dallas City Police, the DART Police, and the Sheriff's Office is doing the best job that they are able to do.
Douglas Tucker says he heard an announcement on his train about Friday's shooting, but says it didn't worry him.
Do you feel safe?
I do.
While DART police say they're actively investigating this incident,
Get more security down there, especially in this downtown area.
riders like Terrence say,
I'm gonna continue to ride, I have to. I mean, but if I had a car, yeah, I'd be in the car.
hoping for more security measures.
Yeah, he said it the best way he can. He said it right. He gotta ride it. Ain't nothing he can do about it. He gotta ride it. You gotta be on your P's and Q's. Gotta watch your situation, watch your surroundings. But absolutely crazy. Let's get over into this next video where we talked about somebody being charged for the train shooting.
DART police made an arrest in connection with Friday's shooting on board a DART light rail train.
Yeah, so this is the third DART shooting in the past 5 weeks. Fox 4's Alex Boyer joining us with the details on the arrest. Alex.
Hey guys, according to that arrest warrant affidavit, the suspect is no stranger to DART police. It turns out that it was a combination of help from witnesses, a social media account, as well as surveillance video that revealed where he hid some of the evidence linking him to the crime. This is what 18-year-old Lamont Wynn II looked like when he was booked into the Dallas County Jail early Saturday.
Oh, is he knocked out? You see how they holding his head up? I don't know if he was fighting with the officers or what, but they beat the brakes off boy. They beat the brakes off boy. Let's back it up, Simon.
Of help from witnesses, a social media account, as well as surveillance video that revealed where he hid some of the evidence linking him to the crime.
They love to post. But I'm not going to stop it too much. Let's keep going.
This is what 18-year-old Lamont Wynn II looked like when he was booked into the Dallas County Jail early Saturday. A corrections officer had to hold his head up for the photo. Not clear what happened to him in the time leading up to his arrest. But several hours earlier, on November 7th, DART police say Wynn shot 18-year-old Davier Johnson on board a DART light rail train near the Acreage station in downtown Dallas. According to an arrest warrant affidavit, Wynn lunged towards the victim and then a brief struggle ensued. Shots were fired and then the suspect was observed running from the scene while tucking an object into his waistband. Johnson suffered a gunshot wound to his lower chest and right leg. He was taken to Methodist Dallas Medical Center for treatment. The arrest warrant states several witnesses knew Wynn by his street name and provided information for the suspect's social media. A DART police officer who responded to the scene looked at the account and realized he recently issued a citation to the individual. The report also noted that DART police got word from security at Renaissance Tower that they saw a man running towards an open park near the pyramid on the property. The security guards say Wynn placed several items in a flower bed area before running off. Investigators recovered a black beanie, black hoodie, and tan sweatpants. When investigators reviewed surveillance video from the DART train, Wynn was reportedly wearing those items when he shot Johnson. And we don't know what led to the confrontation. I can tell you that he has been charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. It's also worth noting that this was the third shooting on a DART train in recent weeks. Back to you.
Absolutely crazy. Let's go back to somebody had to beat the brakes off of. We got to be honest. Somebody beat the brakes off, bro. That is crazy. obviously getting into a fight with somebody, some kind of argument, and he ended up shooting. Tried to leave. They found him from his social media. They love to post. They love to say something. They love to show off. And then they caught him on surveillance footage dumping the clothes. Absolutely crazy. So he's being charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. It happened around 11 a.m. on Friday, November 7th, 2025. The victim identified in court documents as 18-year-old Mr. Johnson, Devaria Johnson, suffered a gunshot wound to his lower chest and right leg. His condition is not known. Wynn was taken into custody on November 9th, 2025. According to the arrest affidavit, police identified Wynn through witness statements, security footage, and recent citations. Absolutely crazy. And there have been 2 other fatal shootings occurring in September and then October of this year. It's a crazy world we live in, y'all. Be prepared. But have something to protect yourselves. Keep your head on the lookout. People aren't going to look out for you. And then the criminals who do this, I hope you stop, because you're going to end up looking like him. Police probably beat the brakes off of him because he was trying to fight. Knocked him out. They said, oh, we still got to get a picture of. He put his head in the camera. 17-year-old just threw away his life. 17-year-old threw away his life. 18-year-old threw away his life. Absolutely crazy, y'all. Let me know your thoughts on that situation. Let me know if you disagree with anything I said. It's a crazy world, y'all. It's a crazy world. More demons out there than anything. They're getting younger and younger. Younger and younger. We just talked about that 12-year-old demon. Now we got an 18. We got a lot of demons out there. Just got to pray. Got to pray for the world. Got to pray for the world. Absolutely crazy, y'all. But we're going to pivot. We're going to pivot over into, looks like 21 gang members have been arrested. Let's get over into that. They got him off the street. I'm happy about it. Let's jump over into it and see what we can learn from this situation. Hey, do the crime, got to do the time. That's all I can say. Got to do the time. Let's jump into it and see what we can learn.
Arlington police and FBI agents say they work together to get members of a dangerous gang off the streets. Good evening, I'm Steve Eager.
I'm Heather Hayes. Law enforcement announced the arrests of 21 suspects, all suspected of numerous violent crimes. Fox 4's Alex Boyer live in Dallas with those details. Alex.
Hey guys, you know, it's interesting to hear the police chief say that this one particular gang is responsible for the vast majority of violent crime in the city of Arlington. So what the police chief did in 2024 was ask the FBI field office here in Dallas for help. And last Thursday, they conducted a sting operation and arrested 21 suspects. These are the mugshots of 21 suspects in a street gang.
Nothing to say, y'all. There's nothing to say. Just mad they look like me. Mad they... Let's keep going.
Known as Kikto, arrested in connection to a string of violent crimes committed in the city of Arlington.
Since January of 2022, we have documented 180 criminal incidents involving Kikto members.
On Wednesday, the Arlington police chief and the assistant special agent in charge of the FBI Dallas field office held a news conference to announce the results of a joint operation that began in 2024. Last Friday, law enforcement officers arrested the suspects living in several cities across North Texas. They are all between 18 and 23 years old.
But do not let the ages distract from the havoc that they've inflicted upon our community. These gang members allegedly use violence and intimidation to protect power, territory, and profits. They instilled fear in their victims and took revenge on their rivals.
The investigation ramped up after a deadly shooting in 2024 at Bowie High School. Police say then 17-year-old Julian Howard committed the crime. He's now serving a 40-year prison sentence.
Kicked members.
40 years. Why do young people love throwing their lives away? I don't understand it. You right, throwing their lives away. Bunch of people just throwing their lives away. But they love to do it. For some reason, they love to do it. They think the street life is made for them. I knew from a young age jail wasn't for me. From a very young age. And this man got 40 years. Young, probably 17. I can't remember what they said his age was, but you ain't getting out of jail until your 50s? Then you're still going to be trying to do the same thing. Let's keep going, though.
He's now serving a 40-year prison sentence.
Kicked members robbed and assaulted individual at gunpoint. Detectives later determined that the deadly shooting that occurred at Bowie High School was in retaliation to that incident.
And investigators say it was also Kickdo gang members who were responsible for a shootout in the parking lot of Arbrook Park Apartments back on March 10th. A 13-year-old girl asleep inside an apartment was hit by a stray bullet. Some fearful residents recorded cell phone video as they hid.
Bro, and there's still cop cars coming through. Like, cop cars keep coming through and going over there.
The suspects face a wide range of federal charges, including racketeering.
You know, when you're part of a street gang, you know, they promise you power, money, friendship, all of those things. But at the end of the day, all it does is lead to betrayal, jail time, or even death.
And I'm told by authorities that if the suspects are convicted on these federal charges, they face prison sentences anywhere from 20 years to life in prison. The Arlington police chief and the FBI special agents say that this operation is far from over. Back to you.
You know, they didn't expect them to 20. The minimum is 20 years if they get convicted. Absolutely crazy, y'all. We say this before, but what's the parents like? What is the parents like? Now, if we go over to this, we can go over to the United, since it was the FBI operation, they talk about it. So we can go to the justice.gov. So 21 alleged Arlington, Texas street gang members charged with RICO conspiracy, murder, drugs, and gun crimes. So let's get over into it. 21 alleged violent members of the criminal street gang in Arlington, Texas, has been federally charged with racketeering, murder, assault in the aid of a racketeering, drug trafficking, and gun crimes, announced acting U.S. Attorney of the Northern District, Texas. Defendants were charged by complaint on Tuesday, November 4th. As of Friday, November 7th, all were in custody and 17 began initial appearances that day before the U.S. Judge. The rest had their initial appearance today. Court documents reflect that the FBI in Arlington began their investigation into the street gang in April 2024 after the gang members were shot and after a gang member was shot and killed on the campus of Arlington High School. The murder resulted in multiple alleged retaliation shootings between them and other gangs. According to the court records, members committed to a lengthy pattern of murder, drive-by shootings, robberies, assaults, firearm offenses, and trafficking of fentanyl, marijuana, and other narcotics into Arlington and other North Texas cities. Over a 3-year period from approximately early 2022 through the years, the members terrorized many parts of Arlington communities with these violent offenses and threats of violence. The gang originated from the 600 block of East Arkansas Lane on the east of Arlington. To demonstrate their association with the gang, members use the word as K&D, Kados, for Kados Nation. I might be saying that name wrong. 6 or 600 on a public social media account. They wore clothing bearing the same inscriptions and produced and distributed online songs and videos about trying to become rappers. They're trying to become rappers. Not surprised. Social media's posts alleged that member Blake Scott was 600 gang clothing. An alleged in Tuesday complaint, violent acts in the members called strips were required to join the gang, remain in good standing as a gang member, and maintain the gang's violent reputation in the communities. Specific crimes identified the complaints and furtherance of racketeering, including murder, 6 attempted murders, 9 robberies, numerous assaults with dangerous weapons, ongoing sales of fentanyl and marijuana, continuous threats of violence, all undertaken to preserve the profile, power, and territory of the gang members while keeping victims in fear of the gang and its members. Marijuana advertised through sales on social medias by alleged gang members. Kyron Oaks. Photos alleged gang member Lamarian Austin posted on social media with the guns and large quantities of marijuana and cash. They love to post. They love to post, y'all. Those charges in the complaints include, wow. Let's see. We're going to read this. So Michael Minshaw, 18, charged with conspiracy and affairs, RICO, assault with a deadly weapon, racketeering, Rafi Opal, RICO, Dylan Opal. So those are brothers. RICO, Israel Wiley, RICO, of course, possession of firearms, Oaks, RICO, assault with a deadly weapon, Woods, RICO, DeMarco, RICO, yeah, all RICO, of course, controlled substances, MacArthur, Wilson, Joseph Hill, Shancy Ross, I think that's the girl. Absolutely crazy. Let's look at the ages. So at 18, let's go through ages. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 19, 19, 18, 21, 18, 22, 18, 22, 20, 20, 21, 22, 21, 22, 20, 21. So the oldest was 22 years old, and they're facing a minimum of 20 years. These outstanding collaborative work of the law. I don't need all that. Absolutely crazy, y'all. And they got their names and posting on social media. Absolutely crazy. It's a crazy world we live in, y'all. There are demons out there. At 18 years old, they love the gang life. They love the gang life, love throwing their lives away. It's sad. They might don't have good parents in their life to teach them the right ways, but at the end of the day, you do the crime, got to do the time. You do the crime, you got to do the time. We'll keep up with this to see if they actually get that 20 years or if they dismiss the RICO charges. Some demons everywhere, y'all. There's demons everywhere. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you disagree with anything I said. The crazy world. It's a crazy world. We're going to pivot over. We got one more thing to talk about. We're doing a little shorter today, but we got one more thing to talk about. We'll go into, let's see what we're going to go into. We're going to go into, here's something. So we're going to go over into this next topic. I don't got a little title for it yet. Let's see. So let's get over into this next topic. They moved in and didn't buy. So it looks like a homeowner claims that an interested buyer just moved into the house and never bought it. They said, nah, we ain't even got to think about that. So they just moved in and just didn't even think about buying it. So let's get over into it and see what we can learn from this situation. At the end of the day, be careful about who you let into your homes, especially if we're renting them out. So let's get over into it, see what we can find out.
Was nice until it turned terrible.
A woman trying to sell her home instead had it taken over by someone else who's not paying any rent.
So you're afraid you could lose this house?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
This really is some story. The man she describes as a squatter has been in her home rent-free for more than a year.
And for some reason, she can't get him out. The home is now in foreclosure and the clock is ticking. Action on consumer investigator Jeff Deal live here in the studio with us right now. Jeff, how did she end up in this situation? So many people thinking, why can't she just get the guy out?
Yeah, it's tough. Her fiance had some health issues and it changed their financial situation. So she wanted to sell that home. But now with this guy in the house, she's in jeopardy of losing it. A large house on a...
I'm going to get him out my house. But hey, we ain't going to talk about that. But I'm going to get him out my house. Let's
nice lot with woods behind it.
I like the space. I like the floor plan. I like the location.
Charlotte Brown bought the Winter Haven home in 2021. She thought it was the perfect place to raise a family.
Extend your arm away from me.
But when her fiance had health problems, she became his full-time caretaker. Their finances took a hit. Not wanting to fall further behind on payments and HOA dues, in 2023, she first listed the home for sale.
I just had the opportunity to sell. So that was definitely a plus, especially with the increase in, the market.
She quickly found an interested buyer, Obed Torres, a real estate agent from California. Charlotte says a company helping Torres with the deal requested the keys so he could get the carpets cleaned before he moved in. And that's where the problem started. Charlotte says Torres changed title companies a couple of times and the sale never went through. But in the spring of 2024, he moved in anyway.
It's terrible. It's deceitful. It's hurtful.
She filed a report asking the sheriff's office to investigate, and twice she tried filing court documents to get Torres out of her house, but she admits she didn't understand the process and missed some hearings. In the first case, Torres wrote a letter to the judge saying he was still trying to buy the house and that his actions were in good faith. In the second case, he claimed the property was abandoned and left vacant by Charlotte and accused her of causing him significant duress and uncertainty. At one point in 2024, text messages to a real estate agent involved show Obed agreed to move out, but as recently as this April asked a judge for an extension, citing personal health issues. When we knocked in September, and again this month, we heard dogs barking inside and left a message on the doorbell camera both times.
We can't answer the door right now, but if you'd like to leave a message, you can do it now.
Obed, this is Jeff Deal with Channel 9 News. Obed Torres never responded, but neighbors told Action 9 they've seen him and his family there as recently as last week. Now, Charlotte's mortgage company has filed for foreclosure since she couldn't afford to pay her new rent and keep up with payments on the house. So you're afraid you could lose this house?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Action 9 asked attorney Mark Lippman to weigh in on the case. And after seeing how Torres has managed to stay in the home rent-free for more than a year, Lippman agreed to help Charlotte at no charge.
His answer was garbage. So the fact that he said that she had abandoned the property is incorrect.
Laws against squatting in Florida got tougher last year, and Lippman is hoping to help Charlotte get Torres out and prove he's squatting in her house.
If you can show that somebody's squatting, you can actually be arrested. It is a criminal offense in Florida now. So we are looking at that as well.
So how do you keep this from happening to you? Well, Lippman says one thing, don't give your keys to anyone before the sale closes, and make sure you go to every court hearing so you don't lose your case on any technicalities. Right now, a decision on Charlotte's foreclosure is set for January. She's, of course, hoping to get Torres out and sell that house before then.
She ain't got much time left. Wow. Yeah, don't give your keys to nobody, y'all. I don't know why she did that. Maybe she was thinking in good faith. I would have been like, yeah, I unlocked the door, but I'll be there while they clean it. Get cameras. That's the main. I've heard that a lot. Make sure you get some cameras up, because if you can prove that they just moved in, or especially if you're watching the property, like I'll look at the property every single day if I got to. Every single day. If it's a property that no one's living in, I'm looking at it every single day. Drive by it every single week. They got to stay there for a while. I think in New York and places like that, it's like 30 days. I don't know how long they can claim squatters' rights in here, but they're very tough. They sounds like in there. I'm gonna get them up out my house. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna get them up out my house. They squatting, I'm squatting. I don't know what to tell you. As soon as they leave, I'm going in there, locks is changed, and I'm gonna be up in there. Sir, I live here. This is my house. I got my deed and all. Absolutely crazy, y'all. Let me know your thoughts on that whole situation. How would you feel if you was in their situation? And they're trying to foreclose on the home too. The bank don't care. The bank does not care. They said we don't get our money, they're gonna foreclose on it anyway. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. It's a crazy world we live in, but we got to review the world together, y'all. We have to review the world together. But that is it for the show, y'all. Thank you for watching now. Thank you for watching later. Remember, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell so you can be up to date on all the videos I drop. It's a crazy world we live in. We got to review the world together. Remember, this is AC Reviews the World, and I'm your host, AC the Engineer. These videos will be broken down, and so you can go back and watch the ones that you like. It's a crazy world, y'all. It's a crazy world, but you already know I got to play the outro. But that's it for now, y'all. Peace.